How did Scipio Africanus outsmart Hannibal's seemingly unstoppable war elephants at Zama? What role did the swift and deadly Numidian cavalry play in changing the tide of history? Was Rome's victory born of tactical genius or the power of unlikely alliances? These questions lie at the heart of one of history's most iconic battles.
This isn't just history, it's a blueprint for transformation. Scipio Africanus's triumph at the Battle of Zama in 202 BCE wasn't just the end of the Second Punic War. It was the moment Rome cemented its dominance over the Mediterranean. This turning point wasn't about brute force alone. It was a victory forged through bold alliances, adaptive strategies, and unprecedented battlefield tactics. In this video, we'll unveil the secrets behind this historic triumph by answering 3 pivotal questions. How did Scipio neutralize Hannibal's fearsome war elephants? What role did the swift and skilled Numidian cavalry play in dismantling Carthage's greatest advantage? And was it superior tactics or strategic alliances that ultimately sealed Rome's victory? Part 1. The ambitious general and his early challenges.
Scipio Africanus wasn't born a legend. He forged himself into one. At just 19, he stood amid the chaos of Cannae, one of Rome's darkest hours, narrowly escaping Hannibal's devastating ambush. The young Scipio witnessed firsthand the destruction wrought by an enemy who seemed invincible. But from this tragedy rose a fiery determination. Scipio wasn't content with survival. He envisioned a future where Rome wouldn't just defend itself, but dominate. He realized that Rome's traditional strategies, rooted in brute force, were no match for Hannibal's cunning. To outwit the master tactician, Scipio knew he had to change the rules of war itself. By the time Scipio secured command in Spain, he had become more than a warrior. He was a strategist. He began rethinking Rome's military structure, adopting innovative tactics, and gaining a sharper understanding of Rome's weaknesses. His campaigns in Spain were not just victories, they were lessons in reshaping the future of Roman warfare.
So, Scipio starts at Cannae, Rome's all-time disaster, and basically goes, you know what? Let's turn this trauma into a resume booster.
Classic move. Barely survives Hannibal's slaughterfest and thinks, perfect opportunity to outsmart the guy who's making us look like amateurs.
And he does it by ditching Rome's favorite strategy, hit harder. Instead, he rewrites the rules, brain over brawn. Scandalous, I know.
The best part? It works. He crushes it in Spain, and suddenly Rome's like, new tactics? Revolutionary. Meanwhile, Hannibal's left wondering, wait, when did they learn to think?
Part 2. The Numidian Gambit.
Carthage wielded a potent weapon, its cavalry. Fast, nimble, and expertly commanded, Hannibal's cavalry had repeatedly outmaneuvered Rome's heavier, slower-mounted forces. This advantage was the cornerstone of his greatest victories, leaving Rome at a constant disadvantage on the battlefield. Scipio understood that to defeat Hannibal, he had to neutralize this advantage. He turned his gaze to North Africa and saw an opportunity. Masinissa, a young Numidian prince, commanded one of the most formidable cavalry forces of the ancient world. But there was a catch. Masinissa was already allied with Carthage. To shift the tides of history, Scipio needed more than strategy. He needed to forge an unlikely alliance that could turn Carthage's greatest strength into its most crucial weakness. Why would Masinissa switch sides? Scipio's offer was no mere transaction. It was a vision of mutual respect and partnership. He promised Masinissa not just a share in Rome's victory, but recognition as a ruler. This diplomatic gamble was as daring as any maneuver on the battlefield. When Masinissa joined Scipio, it wasn't just an alliance, it was a game changer. The Numidian cavalry brought speed, precision, and an intimate understanding of the terrain. Scipio's bold move had shifted the balance of power, leaving Hannibal's forces to face an enemy now equipped to counter their strengths.
Hannibal's cavalry was like a sports car against Rome's ox carts, fast, deadly, and impossible to catch.
Scipio's solution? Steal the best cavalry in the game, Masinissa's Numidians. Small catch, Masinissa was playing for the other team.
So Scipio sweet-talks him with a promise of power and respect. Not just join us, but hey, how about you rule with us? Bold move for Rome.
And it worked. Masinissa flips sides, brings the cavalry dream team, and suddenly Hannibal's like, wait, we're the slower ones now? Absolute game changer.
Part 3. The Clash of Titans at Zama.
The plains of Zama became the arena for an epic confrontation between two of history's greatest generals. Hannibal brought his legendary war elephants and veteran soldiers, the battle-hardened survivors of years of grueling campaigns. Scipio, in contrast, brought discipline, ingenuity, and the Numidian cavalry, a force Hannibal simply couldn't afford to ignore. As Hannibal unleashed his war elephants, chaos seemed inevitable. The thunder of their charge could shatter enemy lines, leaving soldiers defenseless. But Scipio had anticipated this moment. He was prepared for the unstoppable to be outwitted. He trained his legions to create corridors, allowing the elephants to pass through without inflicting catastrophic damage. The plan worked perfectly, neutralizing one of Hannibal's most feared weapons. With the elephants out of the equation, the battle turned into a contest of strategy and resilience. Masinissa's cavalry flanked Hannibal's forces, delivering a devastating blow. Trapped and outmaneuvered, Hannibal's army crumbled. Scipio's victory was decisive, ending the Second Punic War and securing Rome's ascendancy.
The plains of Zama, basically the Super Bowl of ancient warfare. Hannibal shows up with war elephants and his battle-hardened veterans, ready to crush it.
Meanwhile, Scipio's like, oh, elephants? Cute. We'll just open some lanes and let them politely charge through. Chaos averted. 10 out of 10 planning.
Then it's brains versus brawn. Scipio's legions hold strong while Masinissa's cavalry pulls a sneaky flank, wrecking Hannibal's whole vibe.
And just like that, Hannibal's dream shatters. Rome gets its big win, and Scipio walks off with the MVP title of ancient strategy. Second Punic War, over.
Part 4. Leadership and Legacy.
Scipio wasn't just a soldier, he was a master of adaptation. He studied Hannibal's strategies, understanding his strengths and predicting his moves. By integrating flexibility and deception into his own tactics, Scipio turned Hannibal's strengths into vulnerabilities. But Scipio's brilliance extended beyond the battlefield. He united allies through charisma and mutual respect. His soldiers didn't just follow him, they revered him. Even his enemies recognized his fairness and honor, earning him a reputation that transcended his military achievements. Scipio's blend of strategic innovation and diplomatic prowess didn't just win a war, it laid the foundation for Rome's dominance. His ability to inspire loyalty and adapt to challenges made him a leader whose impact would shape history for centuries to come.
Scipio wasn't just fighting Hannibal, he was studying him. Basically, know your enemy on expert mode.
And then flipping the script. Oh, your strength is deception? Cool, I'll use it against you. Thanks for the tips, Hannibal.
But he wasn't all swords and strategy. The guy charmed allies, inspired soldiers, and even made his enemies go, you know, he's kind of a decent guy.
The result? Not just a war won, but Rome set up for centuries of domination. Scipio didn't just adapt, he rewrote the leadership manual.
Part 5. The Aftermath and the Cost of Greatness.
Scipio's triumph at Zama made him a legend. He was granted the title Africanus and celebrated as one of Rome's greatest heroes. But his meteoric rise also attracted jealousy and political enemies. Accusations of corruption and arrogance haunted him in his later years. Disillusioned by Rome's political infighting, Scipio withdrew from public life, retreating to his estate. He died far from the city he had dedicated his life to saving. Yet his legacy endured, not only in Rome's military traditions, but in the lessons of leadership and vision he left behind. Scipio Africanus' story is a testament to the cost of greatness. His victories redefined the art of war, and his alliances reshaped the ancient world. His life reminds us that even the greatest triumphs come with sacrifices, but the legacy of innovation and trust can outlast the man himself.
Scipio crushes Hannibal, gets the title Africanus, and becomes a living legend. Naturally, Rome thanks him by accusing him of corruption. Classic.
Right? You saved us from annihilation, but did you file your expense reports properly? Truly a city of gratitude.
Disillusioned, he bails on politics, retreats to his estate, and dies far from the Rome he saved. The price of greatness, I guess.
Yet his legacy sticks. He rewrote warfare, reshaped alliances, and proved that leadership isn't just about victories, it's about the vision that outlives you.
Scipio's secret alliance with Masinissa wasn't just a tactical maneuver, it was a masterstroke of foresight and diplomacy. How did Scipio counter Hannibal's war elephants? Through meticulous preparation and adaptive strategies that neutralized chaos. What role did the Numidian cavalry play? They stripped Carthage of its mobility, turning Hannibal's advantage into a liability. Why does this matter? The Battle of Zama wasn't just a military victory, it was the moment Rome secured its path to becoming a superpower. Scipio's legacy is a powerful reminder of what can be achieved through adaptability, alliances, and daring innovation. Even in the face of overwhelming odds, he proved that strategy, trust, and vision could redefine the course of history.
Thanks for watching. If you're ready to dive deeper, check out the History Blueprint podcast, linked in the description below.
Curious about Hannibal's earlier antics in the First Punic War? Click the image in the top left for more chaos and strategy.
Don't forget to hit that like button and let us know which historical figure we should cover next in the comments.
Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you're always in the loop for our next historical adventure.